All right, let's see what we got here. What's going on? Hope you're having a awesome, and I do mean awesome Friday. I want to thank you so much for joining me. Had to click on something there. All right. What's going on, everybody? How you doing? I do have some stuff to share with you. And, at first I was sitting there thinking, do I want to share, do I want to do commentary on different things that's taking place? Because somebody at one of these big tech companies, or they're like, oh, Will Johnson is like bringing up valid points, so let's hurt him. It's happening left and right. Well, sorry, it's happening all left. I bring up valid points and I share information with everybody. I'm just sharing. Now, I just share content. I do commentary on stuff, right? And everybody knows. And they penalize me for it. But enough about me. Let's talk about the state of our country. This is insane. This stuff is insane. Yes, it is. I want to share something with you. Now, many of you probably already seen this, and I just got to the studio. I was out running around, and I'm running a little behind here, and I just got to the studio, and I'm like, what? What am I talking about? Joe Brandon. Oh, my goodness. You know what? Let me remind y'all of something, if I can, okay? Especially for you trolls out there. Do y'all remember there was one episode, or not one episode, sorry, correction. There was multiple episodes of Joe Biden going up to women, even little kids, girls, probably boys, I don't know. But he was going up and he was sniffing their hair. Y'all remember? He was doing it constantly, and he was touchy-feely. He's always touching, and he's always smelling hair. He's getting behind him because people making memes. They make these poster boards with him doing it. Every single time something comes up, they show him behind them sniffing their head, constantly doing it. Remember, so then they end up having to tell Joe Biden to stop doing it. They had to keep repeating it. You can't do that. You can't do that. You can't do that. You can't do that. See, because he's accustomed to doing such things. He's accustomed to have that touchy-feely when he shouldn't be. Now this right here is going to blow your mind. Or at least it blew mine. I can't believe he said it. I can't believe he said it. And see what it is? He's getting comfortable, right? He's gotten completely comfortable, and he's sliding back into his old ways. Oh, actually, he never slid out of them. It's just he's starting to come out with it again, because they've been coaching him before, saying you can't do stuff like that, you can't say stuff like that, and now he's going right back to doing it. Listen to this. For those of you that haven't heard Joe Biden say what he's about to say, brace yourself. And I'm gonna start off with this one. I mean, this is remarkable. Listen.
But guess what? We got a lot to do.
Okay, we have a lot to do. I'm sorry, I had to stop it. Sorry. You can hate me later, but listen, pay attention.
You gotta say hi to me. We go back a long way. She was 12, I was 30, but anyway.
She was 12, I was 30, but anyways, he literally...
She was 12, I was 30, but anyway. This woman helped me get an awful lot done. Anyway.
She helped me get an awful lot done. So what did she help you get done when she was at the age of 12 and you were 30? There's this, I'm telling y'all, I show y'all this stuff. See, now they're all laughing, playing it off like, ha ha, like it's all funny, right? But these people, you know what they support. You know what they support? And there's this movement right now to get adults to have relations with children and to say it's okay. I'm telling you, there is a push for this craziness in our world today. And I keep telling people and I keep reminding people that the days that we're living in, he's saying this because of that demonic spirit in him. And so, everybody's trying to find out which woman he was talking about, because I want to ask her, what was he talking about with you and him at the age of 12, right? And he was 30. can you please elaborate? What was that about? Somebody's going to ask her. Somebody has to ask. But no one in the audience there's like, wait a minute, that's a little odd. Why is he talking about what he did with this young lady at the age of 12 when he was 30?
She was 12, I was 30, but anyway, this woman helped me get an awful lot done. Anyway.
I mean, come on.
Come on, man.
I mean, really? Really? And you know what? Then they try to, it makes them a bunch of hypocrites is what it is. It makes them a bunch of hypocrites because President Trump don't even say anything like racist or anything, but they twist the words and they make stuff up and say, oh, President Trump was saying something racist. He literally said that he was doing something with this 12-year-old girl while he was 30. What do you think it was? What do you think? Well, you know, Tucker, he had to chime in on it, and I do like Tucker. I really do like Tucker. And Tucker, he chimed in on it about Joe Biden talking about the 12-year-old. I mean, there's really something seriously wrong here. This stuff that we're seeing, there's something seriously wrong. Listen.
Well, it'll be interesting to know. Unfortunately, when he spoke in Washington today, he didn't really tell us. Instead, he got, as he often does, sidetracked and went off about some relationship he had with a 12-year-old girl. Watch this.
You gotta say hi to me. We go back a long way. She was 12, I was 30, but anyway.
It's hilarious. We go back a long way. She was 12, I was 30. Anyway, what? What was Joe Biden talking about? Who was he talking about? What exactly was he describing? It sounded like a late-life confession. We don't know, actually. For once, the White House is not clarifying what Joe Biden said. They're just walking away slowly. And the New York Times is never going to get to the bottom of it, obviously, not just because they're Democratic partisans, which they are, but because, like everybody else, they don't take Joe Biden very seriously when he talks. Whatever Biden's other talents may be, shelling for credit card companies or having Michael Jackson-level plastic surgery or showering with his daughter, he has a lot of trouble talking. He's not good at that. He rambles. He doesn't finish his thoughts, such as they are. He makes bizarre, unexclaimed claims, like the one you just heard. Joe Biden, again, whatever you say about him, is not an articulate man.
He's not at all. You know what else he said? Let me share what else Joe Brandon said. And this is about, you know, how the Democrats right now are wanting to defund the police. It's not right now. They've been saying it. They've been saying it over and over. They've been repeating it for the last 4 to 5 years now, how they want to defund the police, actually longer than that. Well, Joe Biden, he's never actually come out and say the words, let's defund the police. But his actions says a lot. Let me give you an example. Every single time, and I've told people this before, every single time you see a black thug, yes, I said it, a black thug, get into a conflict with a police officer because the black thug committed a crime and the police officer gets involved and the police officer does his or her job, Joe Brandon will side with the black thug every single time. His actions say it loud and clear. That's why the Democrats never come down on Joe when he says we don't need to defund the police, because his actions say otherwise. And they know this. We all see it. Well, today, I'm assuming this is today, here recently, he just sit there and said that they needed to fund the FBI. Now, I know he's saying a gaffe, right? But the point is, something is seriously wrong with him. He's unstable. He's not all there. Something's wrong with his mind. Now, listen what he says about the police, and then listen what he says about the FBI.
Now, let me tell you something. I don't think, and I know some of you weren't happy with me, I didn't think we should defund the police. I never believed that and said so at the time. But I sure in hell don't think we should be funding the FBI either.
You hear that? Did y'all hear him? See, I'll admit it, he said a gaffe. He said a gaffe. But see, they don't want to, see now, if the FBI were actually doing their jobs, and they were actually upholding the law, and they weren't the strong arm of the Democrat Party, all of them would be saying, they would have been cheering, yes, we need to defund the FBI because the FBI is not doing what we want them to do. You know, that's exactly what would have been happening. One more time, because this is a short clip. Listen to him.
Now, let me tell you something. I don't think, and I know some of you weren't happy with me, I didn't think we should defund the police. I never believed that and said so at the time.
See, he said it. He never. Well, he said it, but his action says otherwise. Like I've already said.
But I sure in hell don't think we should be funding the FBI either.
I don't think we should be funding the FBI either. Now, see, I can admit that he made a gaffe. I can admit it. Can you admit it? I'm pretty sure everyone knows he made it because he says stupid stuff all the time. And, you know, because he's old, he's senile, right? He made a gaffe. But President Trump doesn't say a racist remark, but they turn it into a racist remark. Makes them out to be a bunch of hypocrites. 100%. Now, we've all heard the story about Hunter Biden. We've all heard the story. The Bidens, the Biden crime family, right? We've all heard it. And Joe Biden, you know, he came out before and said that he'd never taken any money. He didn't know any dealings about Hunter Biden. And all of that is starting to come out. It's starting to come to light. And I think that's part of the reason why you have the left, a lot of the demons on the left, distancing themselves from Joe Brandon, because they don't want to be caught up. Now, well, I want y'all to listen to this, because this is a member in Congress literally talking about Joe Biden and what he has done to this country, this nation. There's going to be investigations. You know it is going to be. So especially after come November.
To Hunter with detailed U.S. maps showing where China could get U.S. natural gas reserves from, basically carving up the U.S. based on nat gas reserves, focusing on Pennsylvania, Louisiana, Texas, Oklahoma, and Wyoming. Was that what was going on?
That's exactly what was going on. So we understand now that Joe Biden was involved with these shady business deals. According to Hunter Biden and the sales pitches that he was giving to the Chinese, his father was involved in this in 2017. Remember, he's outside he's no longer vice president. But Joe Biden has lied to the American people about having any knowledge of Hunter's shady business dealings. We now have proof that he was directly involved in this. And look at what they were doing. Not only were they trying to sell domestic American energy to China at a time when the president's trying to get Americans to buy energy from the Middle East, they were also trying to get away for China to get in to have ownership in natural gas drillers in the United States so they could control the drilling. I mean, this is a national security nightmare. This is proof that Joe Biden knew, and that's why we've been investigating Hunter Biden from day one, Liz. We didn't worry that much about Hunter Biden. We worried that Hunter Biden had compromised his father, who's the president of the United States. So
I'm not taking a single penny from any country whatsoever, ever. Number one.
Y'all remember? He lied. I mean, and no one's surprised by that. No one is surprised. At least I'm not surprised that he lied. And it's all starting to come out. It's all starting to come out. And they can't hide it forever. They can't hide it forever. The Hunter Biden laptop is the laptop to hell, right? And again, the only reason why there's no investigations or anything about it right now, because the Democrats are in control of the House and the Senate. They don't care. They don't care about the truth. They want to spend their time trying to figure out how they can prevent President Trump from returning in 2024. That's their main goal. That's their only angle. That's their only agenda. How do we stop President Trump? That's it right there, hands down. Let me give y'all an example what's going on here, because it's insane, right? All of this is insane. Let me give you an example. Have y'all, and I've told people this before, and I want to say it one more time here. The Star Wars, right? Y'all seen Star Wars? Okay, I want to say this because someone hasn't heard me give this, this theory or whatever you want to call it. The first movie that came out in reality, the first movie was called Hope, right? It was called New Hope. That was President Trump, because President Trump came in. He wasn't your typical politician. The stock market was going through the roof. We were energy independent. We were number one exporter of natural gas. The economy was booming. The more black people, more Hispanic people were working. Women were starting more businesses than ever before. 40-year record highs of all of this. He was breaking records left and right. Companies were coming to America saying, hey, we're going to bring these jobs back to America. And today the jobs are leaving, right? Because of the Biden administration. And they're trying to act differently. But so President Trump did all of that. That was New Hope. Make America great. Make America great. Everyone was hopeful because everything was up. But then the empire struck back. Do you understand what I'm saying? Then the empire struck back. But what they don't know is the return of the Jedi. Okay, enough of the goofiness. Let's get on with this next one. So, y'all know who Hillary Rodham Clinton is. Hillary Rodham Clinton had the nerve, the audacity to sit there and try to equate President Trump to Hitler. She really does. She tried to equate him to Hitler. So let me ask y'all a question. So when y'all see a group of people and they're out there and they got their fists up like this, they got it like this. What's the difference? What do you think? Is that peaceful towards everybody? No, it's not. No, it's not. One, I like to say they're shaking their fist at God. That's one. And two, this means they're wanting to fight. Doesn't mean peace, doesn't mean, equality, none of that. Listen to Hillary Rodham Clinton as she describes people going to Trump rallies as Hitler was with his people. Listen to this.
I remember as a young student, trying to figure out how did people get basically drawn in by Hitler? How did that happen? And I'd watch newsreels and I'd see this guy standing up there ranting and raving and people shouting and raising their arms. I thought, what's happened to these people? Why did they believe that? You saw the rally in Ohio the other night. Trump is there ranting and raving for more than an hour, and you have these rows of...
See, the issue is she's jealous and she's still butthurt because President Trump beat her. She's still butthurt about it. And Trump is still in her mouth. She still can't help it. And she's trying to discredit President Trump. But listen to this.
And you have these rows of young men with their arms raised. I thought, what is going on? So there is a real pressure, and I think it is fair to say we're in a struggle between democracy and autocracy. I believe one of the reasons that Putin decided, what the heck, I'm going to go invade Ukraine, I can take them over, in 3 or 4 days, is because he assumed if Trump had been reelected, Trump would have pulled us out of NATO. And then Trump didn't end up back in the White House. And so Putin's saying...
Y'all hearing this? Y'all hearing this? Putin, if President Trump was in office, Putin would have never invaded. He would have never invaded. And she knows this. Putin would have never invaded Ukraine. And to talk about Putin, I should have got a clip on it. And I really kind of want to drive it, but I don't have a lot of information on it as of yet. But I've seen a couple clips out there where they're actually talking about how Putin is to the verge of hitting Ukraine, certain areas of Ukraine, with a tactical nuke. Actually, there's been reports of it. There's been quite a few reports on it, wanting to hit with a tactical nuke, even put out a threat to the United States of America because we're at war. No matter how you look at it, the United States of America, because of the tyrants that's in our federal government, they have taken us to war with Russia via the proxy of Ukraine. Who's funding the war? That's how wars are always fought in the past. Somebody is funding it. And we're throwing billions and billions of dollars into Ukraine when the American people have never agreed to throwing money into that problem. Had the United States of America never intervened, had we not been laundering money to Ukraine, the war would have been over with. The loss of life would have been minimum. You understand what I'm saying? It would have been done. But the Biden administration, along with these world elitists, they want to continue to have this war go on. And I remember when I opened up the phone call a while back, I had this gentleman call me and he said, well, let me tell you something. This is the same thing that they did during World War II. Before World War II kicked off, there was proxy wars, various places on the planet, proxy wars. So if Putin actually sets off a tactical nuke, if he sets it off, what do you think? Before I continue here, what do you think is going to happen? I know I just played the clip with Hillary Rodham Clinton talking about equating President Trump to Hitler, but when she went to talking about Putin would have gone into Ukraine because thinking that President Trump would have taken us out of NATO. If President Trump was going to take us out of NATO, he would have done it already when he was in office. He would have already done it, right? He threatened them, saying that they need to pay their fair share because America is not going to foot the bill for everything. And that's what's been happening. And that's when Joe Brandon came back in, all of a sudden we're paying more. And the rest of them say, okay, yeah. Remember Joe Biden said, we're back paying the bill. That's what that meant. But think about this. If Putin actually does set off a tactical nuke in Ukraine, you know people are going to panic here. Am I wrong? Tell me. Send me a message. Tell me right now. Am I wrong? People, I'm telling you, if he sets off a tactical nuke there, I suspect people will panic here. You know that the liberals will. People will in general, because he's already putting a threat out there to hit America. Already put the threat out there. And if we retaliate, then what's to stop China from retaliating? And Iran and other nations that hate America. They're on the verge of destroying. And this is, you know what? And if Putin does, Biden and the Democrats, they're going to use this to their advantage. Think about what month we're getting ready to run up to. This is September. What's next month? And what's the following month? They'll use this to their advantage because they see right now, because of all the demonic stuff that they've done to us, done to our children, they're like on the verge of like, okay, what do? We have to change this. We have to change this. We have to stop this. They will use what Putin does in Ukraine if he does a tactical nuke against the American people. So he doesn't even have to hit us with one. They'll use it. Let no crisis go to waste. That's what they say. They will use that against us. And they could very well call for martial law. They very well could call for it. Think about it. Now, I pray that I'm wrong. I really do. I really do. I don't want to be right. I don't want to be right. Because you're talking about total chaos. And see, the Democrats, they're used to doing it, right? Because remember the Summer of Love? They went around, they were tearing up stuff. But let me get back to talking about what Hillary Clinton's trying to equate President Trump to Hitler, which is completely disgusting. It's repulsive. And the reason being is because President Trump wants to unite everybody, regardless of your complexion, regardless of your sex, the two genders, regardless of your political view. Really, President Trump multiple times, when he was in the White House, he tried to work with these Democrats. He gave them the benefit of doubt over and over and over and over and over and over again. He kept doing it. I was frustrated that he kept trying to give them the benefit of the doubt because he was trying to work with them. I was frustrated. I was like, stop doing it. Bring the hammer down on him. Bring it. And see, that's the reason why they don't want him back in 2024, because they're terrified that he's going to bring the hammer down. And he needs to. The return of the Jedi needs to happen. The Jedi needs to return and bring order. Seriously, think about it. He needs to bring order and balance, because what they're doing right now, they're literally tearing down the country, tearing down the nation. And again, with Hillary Rodham Clinton trying to say that all these Trump supporters going there to a Hitler rally, right? What she said, right? Because I've been to a Trump rally and everyone would welcome me with open arms. Even before people know who I am, I still go places people don't know who I am. And they still welcome me with open arms at a Trump rally. And there's nothing what they say. And what Hillary Rodham Clinton is doing is she's pushing the same message out there that Joe Biden's pushing about the MAGA Republicans. That same message. The same thing that Hitler actually did in Nazi Germany. See, the MAGA Republicans, they see us as Hitler did the Jews. You understand what I'm telling you? That's how they see us. They've already said it multiple times that we should be removed from society, that we should be put in camps and reprogrammed, reindoctrinated before we even let back into society. They have said this. And see, the problem with Republicans, conservative Christians, we believe people should have free speech regardless of your ideology, regardless of your beliefs. But they don't. They don't. They can care less. If you don't go along with their way of thinking, then they want to excommunicate you from society. Wait until they bring up the social score. You think it's not coming? It is coming. It's coming. Wait until they implement the social score. Wait until they bring in the digital currency. Wait until they start implementing this. Because you know it's right around the corner. You know it is. You hear me talking about it. Hear me now, believe me later on. And now, remember, just the other day, I showed a video and I did information talking about the jobs and how a lot of businesses are shutting down. And they said all these businesses, and let me remind you, when President Trump was in office, businesses were going to the White House, pledging to President Trump to bring the jobs back to the country. I've said this multiple times. But now we have businesses shutting down. They're closing stores, closing locations, multiple stores and businesses across the country. They're closing them down when some places probably employ 20, 30, 50 people. So what happens when all of these businesses shut down and people are out of work? They're out on the street. They don't have a job anymore. No more gainful employment. But then you have people like Karine Jean-Pierre goes on national television and literally lies. She's gaslighting. Listen.
How we're coming off of last year's historic economic growth. A lot of that is because of the work of this president and Democrats in Congress passing the American Rescue Plan, which puts us in a position where we saw the most stable growth, strongest growth that we have seen in modern history. So it's no surprise that the economy at this point is going to slow down, is going to cool off.
You hear this? She said, so it's no surprise that business, basically what she's saying is no surprise that people not going to work and businesses are having to close. And some of these businesses, they're not closing because they can't get customers to come in. Some of these businesses are closing because they can't get employees to come work. I played a video just the other night with a representative out of the state of Florida was talking about how are you going to just give people money with no labor? Right? Where they're not producing any products, any goods. And you're just going to give them money? If you're just going to give them money, they're not going to go to work to produce the products for other people to buy. But that's how it works. That's how capitalism works. And see, they have an agenda to destroy capitalism. Everything that you're seeing right now is by design, is for the plan. It's for the plan. And speaking about the plan, someone mentioned, and I've seen people put it in the comments, talking about September 24th. Have y'all heard about this? And see, I really don't pay it no mind, no attention. I see people say it because it's like almost every year, like they come up with this thing. Where will you be? Or the new one is that they're saying, where will you be? They said you will not forget where you are September 24th, 2022. Okay. I'm going to be at home. I mean, so the thing is, they put someone create these stories like that constantly. And every single year, people go, oh, because someone said something about so-and-so that, hey, need to be on the lookout. I don't pay it no mind. I don't pay stuff like that any attention. Y'all remember, what was that, 2012? I think it was September in 2012, if I'm not mistaken. Right? They said at the end of the 2012, the clock stops and the world stops. And it's going to be like Armageddon and all this and all that. And then the day and the time came and life still moved on. Still moved on. Oh, what is this here? Oh, look at that. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. That's real cool. Okay. Wow. Okay. Let me show you this. This is what Joe Brandon talking about the gas prices coming down. Right? Oh, now it's down $1.30. You know, they raise it up $5, $10 in California, right? And then they bring it down $1.30. So now you need to shut up and be happy. Shut up and be happy. And the only reason why they brought the gas down, they, tapped into the reserves. The only reason why they did that is so that they can do this for the midterm elections. So when people go to the polls, when they drive to the polls and have to stop and get gas, they would think, oh, well, the gas is down. But you know what? As soon as it's over with, and the Democrats, if they get their way, sound like I'm saying this, I said this before, and no one listened. If the Democrats get their way, the gas is going to go right back up. It's going to go right back up. Believe me.
Gas prices, I know I got criticized for going to the stockpile. Well,
he got criticized for going to the stockpile, right? So if we have a crisis, we have a war crisis, that's going to be more damaging to us. So if Putin actually does follow through what they're saying that he's possibly going to do, we're not going to have the oil reserves. We're not going to have it. We're going to be hurting here, people. And they purposely did this to us.
Well, guess what? Gas prices are down $1.30 a gallon.
And does it make it a difference when I whisper like this? Gas prices are down. Why does he do that? I don't ever recall President Trump having to whisper like that, like he's more serious or something because he's whispering like the gas prices are down. Guess what? It's election time. So remember, stupid people, vote for Democrats because the gas prices are down. But as soon as it's over with, we get what we want. We're going to jack them back up. You can't do that. Got me coughing. Okay. Let me see. Do I have something else here? Oh, yeah. I got one more here. And you know what? I am going to open up the phone lines here because I got my phone system working. And I got one more thing I want to play for y'all. This is a beauty here. And, more of this is going to come. Now, let me remind you that how she would just sit there saying, okay, the number's down in the ticker. If y'all want to give me a call, the number's down in the ticker. And I already got the phone system set up. I already got it set up. So I know it's working. All right. So I want to hear what you have to say, especially about Putin. That's what I really want to hear. What do you think the country's going to look like if Putin decides to fall through? If he decides to follow through, what do you think the country's going to look like? All right. It is Friday night. I'm going to take the phone calls, but I'm going to ask you again, because there's still, even though I live in the state of Texas, right, where free speech is now allowed because the appeals court, I want to get it right. The appeals court here in the state of Texas said, okay, let me back up. First, Abbott signed a bill saying big tech companies cannot censor residents in the state of Texas on social media. He signed a bill saying that if they do, they'll get fined for censoring Texans in the state of Texas. Well, a liberal federal judge came behind him and said, no, you can't do this because you're violating the free speech of the big tech companies from censoring Americans, which doesn't make sense because now the appeal court came along and said, nope, you can't do that because that has nothing to do with the company saying what the company wants to say. You preventing people because of Section 230. Section 230, people can say what they want to say. They can talk about UFOs, right? You should be able to talk about UFOs, whatever it is, and you won't be held liable. The person will be held liable if something goes wrong, right? The person who said it, the person who actually published it, right? But the big tech companies have taken it upon themselves because of, the Biden administration, the federal government went to the big tech companies, using them as a proxy to hinder the First Amendment rights of the American people. That's the reason why. But even then, the big tech companies, until the big tech companies get the memo, right? I know they got it, but they still don't care because they have billions and billions of dollars and they have hundreds and hundreds of lawyers, right? They're going to take this. It's probably going to end up going to the Supreme Court. And I'm hoping that the Supreme Court rules in the favor of we the people. But I want to play something else before I go to the phone lines here. Have y'all seen this? So you remember, I just played it. Karine Jean-Pierre is saying that, of course, the businesses are going to lay off. The economy is going to, slow down or whatever. No, it's always been like that. We're in recession, third quarter now of a recession, third quarter, right? The inflation, 8.3, right? Right? Haven't we hit the third quarter? Someone correct me on that. I know we've hit 2 consecutive quarters in a recession now, right? Until they change the definition. But to my understanding, we've already hit a third time. And now they're even talking about, well, we need to say we're in a recession so we can get through this. But they don't want to do that because they don't want people to think that the economy is that bad. So they literally lie to your face. Okay, listen to this. This is the CEO for McDonald's in Chirac, basically saying that he's pulling, it looked like he's going to pull out of Chicago. And Mayor Beetlejuice is upset, saying that he doesn't have all the facts. Listen to this.
There that our city is in crisis. It's more difficult today for me to convince a promising McDonald's executive to relocate to Chicago from one of our other offices than it was just a few years ago.
Any remarks to counter the McDonald's CEO who says people are afraid to come back to the headquarters?
Look at her. I mean, this is a complete demonic woman. This is what evil looks like. This is an example of what evil looks like.
Well, I think that what would have been helpful is for the McDonald's CEO to educate himself before he spoke.
So is there like something else we need to know other than all of the crime that's taking place in Chicago? Is there something else that we don't know? Somebody please tell Will Johnson what it is. I mean, really, what else is there? We know that the crime is through the roof. We know that the crime is through the roof in Chirac. We know that it is. You can see video after video after video after video of shootings, of these flash mobs when they go into these stores and tearing up stuff. The gas stations, people getting robbed at gas stations, just various places. The crime is through the roof. It's beyond stupid. It's ridiculous. It is. Okay. So there was, I actually had 2 more videos that I wanted to share. And I was hoping that my producer would have put them in the queue for me. And she didn't put them there. So I do apologize. And they were really good. Maybe I can get her to put them in here while I take a couple of your phone calls. All right, let me go here. Oh, sorry. Okay, call in now. I do have the phone system up, but it was having an issue there. Okay. All right, let me see. All right. Okay, call back in now. My bad. Y'all can say something bad about me when you call in, if you call back in. My bad. The phone number is right there in the ticker. It's wide open right now. I see Angie calling in. Hold on. I'm going to get to you in just a second, Angie. Okay, I see you calling in. So if anybody else wants to give me a call that number down in the ticker there. All right. And I see Mandy from New Zealand as well. Okay, give me 1 second. All right. Yep, I see people starting to call in here. But I want to get these clips. My producer said they're there. Okay, let me reset this cue button here. Because this was information, valid information that y'all need to hear because it's all pertaining to what's happening there in Chirac. Okay, let's see. Yeah, they're not there. They are not there. Oh, wait a minute. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I had 2 of them, but I only see 1. But okay, let me go to the phone lines here. Let me unmute the line here. Okay. I can hear that. Okay, so I have the one. Hold on one second. Okay, let me go to the phone line here. Let's see where we at. Okay, awesome. We got some people calling in here. If you want to give me a call, the number's down in the ticker. Okay, let's go. First come, first serve here.
These are the two. They're right here. You just played one of them.
Okay, here's, let's go to Mandy from New Zealand. Now, I said I had my system working right. We'll see what we got here. Hey, Mandy, are you there?
Hey, Will.
There you are.
I'm here. Hi, everybody in the chat. So, Putin, let's ask a couple of questions before we even comprehend Putin. Do you think we'd be in this position if the Democratic Party didn't weaponize Russia against Trump? That's one question. The other question is, if Zelensky wasn't imprisoning his opposition party in Ukraine, would Russia be standing up against Ukraine? All our opposition parties in our nations are getting trampled. And this is about, and I believe, this whole thing from our Western nations is all over the fuel lines, the oil and that, to restrict our movements, the patriot movements. Restrict us, you control us.
Yep.
And I think Putin knows.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I just think Putin knows it. So these are the couple of things that no one's asking or talking about is, where would we be if the Democrats didn't attack Russia and Trump? And where would Russia be where Ukraine stood if Ukraine wasn't imprisoning its opposition parties? These are the questions that are not getting asked.
Yeah. Well, that's the question, right? But we know where the world would be. We would be better off. We wouldn't be in the situation right now with our southern border here in the United States of America. More companies, the world would be like on a different path, right? And the reason why they wanted to get rid of President Trump, one of the reasons, because they knew President Trump would not go along with the WEF. They knew that he wouldn't go along with it.
Oh, exactly. Well, he was in part of parcel of starting to defund all of these money laundering outlets. He stopped funding the UN. And all this is third-party money laundering. And if people can't see that, look, I'm sorry, but lost causes are lost causes. I mean, I guess we're going to pick up a lot of stragglers along the way that realise too late. But if we don't start realising what's going on very shortly, we're putting the anchors around our own ankles.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. We're allowing them to strap us to an anchor. And I'm certainly not going to be one that goes down that alley. Look, we've got a lot going on over here. Absolutely crazy as it is. But you've just had Jacinda over there, so you would have been up to play with what's going on. So they're talking about censoring what we even see on media.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So we're not going to see the truth very shortly because we're going to be so censored down.
Yep, I completely agree with you. Hey, Manny, thank you so much for the call.
But look, love you and love what you do, and you just keep up the awesome fight because we need this right now, and everything you do helps.
I really appreciate it. We're all in this battle together, and we got to engage. All right, take care.
Absolutely. Thank you, Will.
All right, bye. Okay, let's go to Angie. Hey, Angie.
Hey, Will. Long time no talk to you.
Yes.
I knew this little dwarf elf communist that is our president was compromised the minute I saw that video of him regarding Russia, getting that official or arrested or whatever. I knew that man was crooked right then and there. And I thought to myself, how could he run for the presidency after this?
Yeah.
But yet, look where he is.
Yeah.
So
because there's that world agenda. It's a world globalist agenda, and that's the reason why we're seeing that.
Right. And then his pride exudes himself with, I lowered the gas by X amount of dollars. But what he didn't say is he caused the high gas price to begin with.
Yep.
And now he's draining our reserves in order to make it look like he's doing wonderful things.
Yep. And you know what? I've
vote Democrat.
Yeah, I've said that so many times that they cause chaos, right? If they don't cause the chaos, they'll utilize the chaos, or they will cause the problem, and then they will use, and then they'll come back around like they are here to fix it. It's like they say these firemen will go out and start fires so they can go and put the fire out. Same thing, same concept.
It's like I'm the hero. I caused the problem, but you didn't see that.
Exactly.
No, you didn't see that.
Yeah, you didn't see that. But I'm here to fix it.
To save you, I'm here to save you now that this happened.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, this little weasel, I'm getting to where this little weasel just nauseates me. A couple of weeks ago when I saw that little communist stand up there and declare me an evil person because I don't believe in his agenda.
Right.
I thought, man.
So let me ask you this.
TV.
Let me ask you this before I let you go. What do you think he was talking about when he said, talking about the lady in the audience when she was 12 and he was 30? What do you think he was referring to?
I don't have a clue unless it was his daughter or his granddaughter or something.
I know he was talking. Yeah, he was talking about how some lady was helping him do a lot of things, and she was 12. What in the world can a 12-year-old do for a 30-year-old? I don't know.
Exactly. How is that legitimate?
Exactly. So, well, hey, Angie, thank you so much.
What's the old say, pedo Pete or whatever they call him?
Yeah.
What can I say?
I think there's something behind it.
All right, Will.
All right, take care.
Have a good night, hon.
You too.
Take care of yourself.
You too. Take care. All right, let's go to Dawson. Hey, Dawson, thank you so much for the call.
Hey, Will. Been a little while.
Yes, sir. What you got?
So, I know exactly why he... about the 12-year-old. I mean, we all know what he's doing.
I think we all know, right? Yeah. I think we all know. Yeah, I think we all know. It's just, and they laugh it off like, he's just being funny. No, that's not really funny. I mean, he's literally talking about really? He just, what he just did with a 12 something. He did something inappropriate with a 12-year-old. It's something.
Like, have you seen the we're just getting deeper and deeper into it. Like a couple weeks ago, there was a video that came out where this school teacher in, I think it was El Paso, Texas, where she started defending pedophiles, and she started calling them minor attracted persons.
Yeah.
Have you seen that? MAPs.
Yeah, they call them MAP. Right, minor attracted persons. Yeah, and that's what I said. When Joe Biden said that, and they're like, "Oh yeah," laughing and stuff. There is this movement to get it to where adults can have relations with children. It's there. They're actually doing it, and they're trying to say it's okay. There's a teacher here in the state of Texas that they put on administrative leave, and they should have just fired her flat out, where she was saying that you shouldn't judge an adult that want to have sexual relations with a 5-year-old. What?
It's so demonic.
100%. 100%.
I just don't even, obviously, everything in the last days,
Yep.
Everything that is right is wrong, and everything that is wrong is right.
Yep.
And,
we're seeing
just look at the things where parents are taking their kids to drag shows and letting them dance on stripper poles.
Yeah. And then they get upset with Ron DeSantis for saying, the strip clubs, you're going to lose your liquor license if you continue to have these pedophiles on these poles showing their junk to children. You're going to lose your liquor license. And now there's like, oh my goodness, this is so terrible. Look what Ron DeSantis is doing. I mean, this is you know what? It is 100% demonic, 100%. So, hey Dawson, thank you so much for the call.
Hey, well, it was good talking to you again, Will.
All right, take care.
Talk to you later.
All right, looks like we may have a new caller here. The last four, 1500. The last four is 1500. If you want to give me a call right now. The number's in the ticker. Hello, caller. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Michelle. I'm calling
Michelle.
from Wisconsin.
Hey, Michelle. Thank you so much for the call.
Hey, I've called before.
Okay, it's showing up like a new number. So, well, thanks for calling. Thanks for calling me back.
Yeah. Hey, I think that not necessarily Biden, but whoever is controlling Biden is actually not just really trying to destroy the nation, but I think he is actually, or they are actually trying to destroy the world.
Yes, I agree. But the United States of America, my opinion is that first domino. Is the first big domino that they need to take down. If they can get that domino to fall, imagine where the rest of the country will go.
Everything will fall. We are the last great hope.
Yes. Yeah. I agree.
So
I agree.
If we don't do something, in my opinion, if we don't do something about the 2020 selection, we're not going to get anywhere with any future elections.
Yeah, you know what?
This is going to get worse and worse.
We know a lot of things are happening, right? And we know some things are changing, and they're actually going after people. Look what they did to Mike Lindell, right? I mean, because Mike Lindell's trying to bring awareness to certain things, and of course the Democrats use the FBI against their political opponents. Right, and Mike Lindell's not even running for political office, but he's helping those that are against the Democrat Party. So of course they target him. It's really something. It's really something. Let me ask you, what do you think? What do you think about Putin possibly hitting Ukraine with a tactical nuke? And what do you think will happen here in America?
Well, I think it would be the demise of the world. I really do. I think it would just be a domino effect of every evil regime getting in, and, maybe they think they're protecting themselves, but so many nukes, I mean, it's going to destroy people. Yeah,
it's going to be really something. It's going to be something. So.
And I think that, in a way, it is like the end of times.
We're in it. We're in it. We're seeing biblical things take place right now. So, well, hey, Michelle, thank you so much for the call, okay? Have a wonderful weekend.
Okay, thanks.
All right, take care.
You too.
All right, let's go to Tevin from Pennsylvania. You there?
Okay, thanks.
All right, take care.
You too.
You there, Tevin? He's away from his phone.
Hello?
Hey, what's going on?
Hello? Hey, how you doing, Will?
All right.
It's been a while since I called your show. Hey, just want to let everyone know that pray for my state of Pennsylvania, because I'm voting for Doug Mastriano and Dr. Oz. We got to make sure that this state turns red, because we lose this.
This country is finished. Yeah, you got Fetterman.
That's right. Yeah, I call him Uncle Fester.
You know what? He does look like us. I never put that connection together. He really does. Yeah. But you know what? Fester, Uncle Fester, had more intelligence than Fetterman. You're insulting Fester.
Yeah. Also, I also saw. I hope you check this movie out. Doug Mastriano released a film a couple months ago called "The Return of the American Patriot." It is pretty awesome. It exposes all the Kool-Aid tyranny. I'm sorry, I can't say that word on your show. all the stolen.
You know what? I think someone else was mentioning that to me, but I haven't seen a link on it or anything, so I can go check it out.
Yeah, they haven't. They've been showing it at certain places all in Pennsylvania, but they're going to air it soon on their website. And, and I don't think you know this, but the left has tried really hard to cancel it.
Right.
And they were able to shoot it in a church and have like a big audience. And it's an amazing film. You know, like, even though if you don't live in the state of Pennsylvania, everyone should go see it.
Yeah, you know, I've heard someone mention it, but the thing is like if it's something that if you don't agree with something, then don't watch it. But they want to prevent people from freely seeing information. The same thing happened on the big tech companies, right? They want to prevent you from freely seeing information. It should be just free. It is. You know what? I think I'm capable of making a decision on my own, whether if I want to believe something or not. And you know what? And if I want to believe something, they can't tell me what I can and can't believe. But see, that's their agenda.
They're just telling us how to think. They claim that they want to stop misinformation, but they're lying. They just don't want us, the public, to see what's really going on, because they know when people see the truth, that we would all unite together, because they know it set us free.
Yep.
That's the real truth about this censorship, and it's very sad. Also, it's upsetting what they're doing to Mike Lindell and Trump, and also this lawsuit that's going on with Trump. I encourage your viewers right now, ignore it. It's just a major distraction, because I think they're just want to get our minds off the whole migrant crisis.
Yeah, and I said that a couple of times too. I said the same thing that in New York, the Attorney General is going after President Trump is the same thing that Michael Cohen was trying to say President Trump was doing. So she just picked up the mantle where he left off, and he went to prison for lying. So I'm like, what? But anyways. Well, hey, Tevin, thanks so much for the call. And hey, man, you know what? I'm praying for Pennsylvania that y'all don't get, the evil fester. I mean, the stupid fester.
Right. Please, patriots, please, MAGA guys, please pray for the state of Pennsylvania. Please, seriously, very important.
Yep.
We got to win this.
Yep, absolutely.
I'm so nervous, but I can't wait. But God bless you well.
Yeah, God bless. Take care. All right, let's go to, is this Cheryl from Texas? You there, Cheryl? Hello.
Hello.
Hello. How you doing? Thanks for the call.
Oh, okay. Hi.
What you got?
Penny.
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear.
I was listening to you asking questions about Putin, and the thing about Putin is he doesn't play games. Okay, and he came out the other day saying that if anyone attacks Russia or Russian interests, he was going to pull a nuke. And Zelensky went on and he said that he wanted the United States and the United Nations to do a preemptive strike. If we listen to Zelensky, we're crazy.
Yeah.
And Biden, the whole purpose of getting involved with Ukraine is to topple Putin.
Yep.
To unseat Putin.
Yep.
This entire war with Ukraine, where Biden got involved in everything, which Ukraine is very corrupt.
Yep.
I mean, and we found out that, we have a biological warfare labs and everything going on in Ukraine. We're involved up to our teeth in corruption over there.
Yeah, they've been talking about those for years. And what was really interesting is how they tried to deny it. And I remember, when they were first talking about those labs, CNN actually had a report where they were talking about the labs, and I'm like, man, I should have recorded it, should have got a copy of that when they were talking about it, because then they turned around and tried to say it was all conspiracy, that there are no labs.
Well, so did the Washington Post.
Yeah, I know, but the point is they were trying to deflect. They're lying, but again, we're talking about the Communist News Network. They say one thing and then they don't have any issues of lying.
True, but they whenever. The whole reason that Biden started pushing all this was because the reason that they're calling Russia a terrorist threat, a terrorist state now, and a sponsor of terrorism, is because they're wanting to topple Putin.
Yeah.
They're wanting a regime change.
Yep.
And the reason they're going after Russia right now is they're wanting a regime change.
Yep.
Even China is asking us to calm the rhetoric down. But this is crazy.
Yeah,
what
it is.
Biden is going to do is get us into a third world war.
That's the plan.
And it's something we don't need.
I think ultimately that is the plan. You know, and this is similar to something that happened like this right before World War II. There was proxy wars, and then next thing you know, the World War came. So.
Oh yeah, and you know, Hillary Clinton is a war hawk.
Oh yeah.
If she'd have been in office right now, we'd be in. If she would have been in office instead of Trump, we would literally have been in war.
Yeah, absolutely. America would probably know more if it was up to them. So.
Right.
Absolutely.
Because that was the whole agenda, was to get us into a war. And if Biden gets us into a war, he doesn't have to step down.
They can actually call. That's what I'm saying. If Putin actually does a tactical nuke, what's to stop Biden from calling martial law? Because I'm pretty sure because of all the tension that people will panic here. And, you know, it's possibly going to happen. So, well, hey, Sherry, thank you so much for the call, okay? I really appreciate it. All right, have a wonderful weekend. Okay, let's see. Let's go to Kathy from Ohio. Is that right, Kathy? You there, Kathy?
Hello, Will.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm doing. What do you got?
Our government is nothing but a criminal. They're all criminals.
I agree.
We have to. This is getting crazy. I'm in Facebook jail. I can't comment on anything. So
really, why are you in Facebook jail?
They said that I did something that went against their standards. I'm in Facebook jail for 24 hours.
Well, I am sorry to hear that. You know, so you're in Ohio, so I'm kind of curious if they've been putting, censoring people in the state of Texas. But it shouldn't be happening, period, in the United States of America, especially now that we know that the federal government has been, going to big tech companies, asking the big tech companies to censor the American people. It shouldn't be happening. Shouldn't be happening at all.
I agree 100%. This is all wrong, and we have to turn it around.
Yep. So how are you watching that? How are you watching? Are you watching on Facebook? You just can't comment?
I'm watching you on Facebook, but I just can't comment or like or share.
Okay, well,
like
jump over on, do you have a Rumble account?
I have a Rumble account, but there's something wrong with my password, and I emailed Rumble, and I asked them to help me out, but they weren't much of a help. So I'm trying to get my Rumble fixed.
Okay.
So, and I've been trying to get on Truth, what's it?
True Social?
Truth Social?
Yeah, True Social don't have it where I can stream to True Social yet, but I know you can see the feed on Rumble if you can ever get back on there, and I know you can go to YouTube. I'm on YouTube, and I'm on Getter.
Oh, okay.
And I'm live on Getter.
Okay.
I'm live on Getter right now too.
Okay, I don't have Getter.
Okay, yeah, you need to get Getter. You need to get Getter. You already got Rumble. You need to get Getter too, because there's a lot of people on Getter. I can see people on there right now, and people are having conversation. They're chatting. So.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you, Will.
All right.
Well, you have a blessed night.
You too, and thank you.
Show.
And thank you so much for the call. Take care. All right, let's go to Terry. Hey, Terry, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hey, thank you so much for the call.
Everybody keeps talking about would Russia have done this if Biden wasn't there or something like that?
Well, yeah. Well, what it was is that Hillary Rodham Clinton was saying that if President Trump was there, that President Trump would have pulled America out of NATO, and Putin would have still gone into Ukraine.
Good.
But my thing is that Putin would have never invaded Ukraine if President Trump was there, regardless if we were in NATO or not.
Well, besides that, he would have done this anyway sooner or later. He's been building up to it since around 2005 or 6 or so. And he was just waiting for a chance.
The opportunity, right?
When he thought that there was NATO and the U.S. especially wouldn't do anything about it.
Well, when they saw
if
how
you don't believe me,
I believe you, because when Putin saw how Biden pulled out of Afghanistan, Putin was like, "Now's the time." Yeah, now's the time. Yeah, I agree with you.
Niccolo Machiavelli talked about this in the 1500s. This exact scenario. It's exactly the scenario he talks about in The Prince, like down to some of the language being used.
Interesting.
It's been this is an old strategic plan, and it's the only thing all this proves is Vlad can read Italian and Americans can't.
Yeah, it probably does.
You're laughing. I'm not.
No. I mean, no. I'm
do this again.
No, I mean, you understand why I'm laughing. It's not a laughing matter.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah,
I know.
Yeah. It's just
I'm
I'm agreeing with you. But yeah, it's not good at all. Let me ask you this: what happens if Putin actually does fire off a tactical nuke? What do you think America's going to do?
I can look you in the eye and say I don't know, but I don't trust Joe to do anything about it.
Right.
Maybe, very, very maybe, Congress will finally say, you know what, we knew this was coming, you got to go. But then what?
Yeah.
You got Kamala, who's just as deep in Iran's pocket as Putin is.
Yep, I would agree. So what do you think the streets...
This is my good behavior. I'm sober right now.
What do you think the streets of America would look like? Do you think people would be, no issues, or you think we just still go to the store?
Summer of Love 2020 would look like a slightly boisterous street party.
You know what? That's exactly my thoughts too, because I think people would panic and thinking that he's going to end, because the word it'll go out there like that. He's going to hit America next, and people would go out there and act crazy. I agree. That's what I think would happen.
Some of them will start the crazy because they can.
Yeah, exactly. It's opportunists. 100%. So, well, hey Terry, thank you so much for the call.
I live out in the sticks now.
Yeah, I bet. Well, hey, thanks so much for the call, Terry.
It's a waste of work, but it beats living literally in downtown Reno like I was.
Yeah. All right. Well, take care. Have a good weekend.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
All right. Let's go to Joyce from Georgia. Hey, Joyce. Thank you so much for the call.
Well, hey, Mr. Will. I'm so glad you're back on the air.
Yes. Thank you so much.
And as far as Putin goes, I think that them and the Ukrainians both have got Biden in their back pocket. Their son has made so much money on both of them, till Biden's going to sit back and he just going to make us a lame duck. And like you said, we're going to go in chaos.
Yeah.
This world is going to go in chaos. We hadn't seen nothing in 2020 compared to what's going to happen if he puts off a nuclear.
Yeah, I think so. One person said on Getter that they believe Biden would just surrender to
China
and
Russia. He's a flake.
Yeah.
He's not running it.
Yeah,
he's a puppet on the string. He's just a puppet on a bunch of strings, and he can't even,
I agree.
He can't even read the prompt right. He's got to read when he's got to walk away.
Yep, he has a card. He has a card. He has a card.
In the air,
he has a card. Okay.
He don't know how to get off the stage.
Yep. Now go to toilet, change diaper.
Yeah, that's it. Okay, man. You have a blessed weekend.
You too, Joyce.
But yeah, we it's the Bible being fulfilled. People better get ready to go home.
It is the Bible being fulfilled, 100%.
And it's going to be fulfilled because it's God's word.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
It's just coming a lot faster than what I thought it was going to come.
So many people used to get upset with me. So many people used to get upset with me and say, it's not going to be in my lifetime. And now they see all of this stuff happening. And I'm saying, okay, yeah, wait a minute. Have a good weekend, Joyce.
My dad and preacher preaches, sit and been preaching ever since I've been a little girl. I've listened to it, but I've never seen the world in the shape that it's in now.
Yep, and it's getting worse. Have a good weekend, Joyce.
It is.
Have a good weekend. Take care.
All right. Bye-bye, Brother Bill.
All right, let's go to Randy. Randy from Washington. Hey, Randy, thank you so much for the call.
Thank you for the call, for accepting it there, Will. Hey, I just wanted to say your last caller is right on. We are in our last times. We have entered tribulation. And, everything from the Euphrates drying up to everything that's happening right now.
Yes, sir. And then did you hear about the red heifers showing up in Israel?
Yes. I've
biblical things are happening. Yes, they are.
To the word of what the Bible has predicted, but as for everything that's happening with Putin and so on, I believe, this is my opinion, that this has all been planned out from the beginning. They've been planning this for 40 years, and you know this. I've watched you, and you talk about it. This isn't coincidence that this is all happening,
right?
And they're at the point now where they're saying, okay, we're putting this out there, and they know that if Putin, their goal is to reduce the population, and the government can put out things to make people fight and go to war. It's just going to reduce, you've seen Gates and everybody saying, oh, well, we have to reduce our world population.
Yeah. I've actually known people to share videos with him actually saying that. And then they end up getting the video deleted, getting banned or just other stuff when it's their guy saying it. The problem is that they don't want people to know that information, and they gotta suppress it as much as possible. Yeah, they don't want people to know.
Yeah, and so it's a win-win situation for them because it's all planned out. So they think that if they can get, the only thing holding them back from completely having this plan work out is America, because America is the centerpiece. It is the centerpiece that holds up the arch of a free world, and that centerpiece is the only thing that's left is the Second Amendment in our country.
Yeah. And that's the reason. So, that's the only reason why they haven't come full tyranny onto us, because there's too many people that's willing to, go out of this world with freedom.
It would have happened.
Yeah.
It would have already happened.
Yeah, exactly. 100%.
If it wasn't for our Second Amendment.
Yep, it would have already happened.
In that aspect, if we continue on the path that we're going, if we're not able to change what's happening politically, this time we're done.
You know what? Yeah, I've been saying that. And this is because this one here, this is the most important midterm election in American history, because it's going to determine if we're going to become great again, if we're going to become the United States of America, or if we're going to become the communist nation that they're pushing for, because they're going to do away with the filibuster. They'll do away with the Electoral College. They're going to stack the Supreme Court. They'll make Puerto Rico and D.C. a state and add more senators, and all this wokeness that they've been pushing onto us, we're all going to be experiencing it. And then they're going to implement full-on tyranny. You're 100% correct.
Venezuela, we will turn into the next Venezuela.
Yeah, and all those people coming from Venezuela here, they just jumped out the pot and into the fire. I mean, really? Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah,
so
they're just basically it comes down to, if Putin does do the nuclear option for Ukraine, it just adds the fuel to their fire for the amount of for their world population goal.
I think so. I think so.
And so if we can stop that, I've been saying, and people look at me cross-eyed when I say I'm not against Putin. Putin he's a dictator, but he has a certain amount of morals that he wants to have a sovereign nation.
Yeah.
And that is part of what is what we want also. He just wants to have his nation and have it run in his way.
But
our way is our Constitution.
Yeah, I completely agree. And the young lady that called earlier, and the main reason why they're doing this is because they want to change the regime in Russia. They want to unseat him. They want to remove him. So, well, hey, Randy.
Yeah, because thank you very much. And Will, I listen to your show every night.
I greatly appreciate it.
Find you.
Thank you.
And I love your show. Thank you.
Hey, thank you so much. Have a wonderful weekend. Take care.
You too.
Goodbye.
Okay. All right. So let me say thank you to a couple people before I bounce out of here. And I want to thank all of you for hitting that share button. And of course, Facebook is the only one that allows me to see the information on how many people actually shared. And I'm going to ask you one more time, if you're watching on Facebook, I didn't even ask that all tonight, did I? But I'm going to ask you now, please, could you bless me with hitting that share button? I can see there's 426 shares right now on the video for Facebook. If you're watching on Getter, please share. Same thing with Rumble. I can see people on Rumble right now. Please, if you would, hit the share button there as well. There's a share button up there, big as day. And if you haven't subscribed to the Rumble, all right, let me say thank you to a couple people. CDP, thank you so much for the cash out. I really do appreciate you. Mandatory Carry, thank you for the super chat. Thank you so much. Taylor, thank you so much for the stars. Mildred, thank you for the stars. Thank you so much, Mildred. Shelly, thank you for the stars. Christina, thank you for the stars. Shelly, thank you for the stars. Chuck, thank you for the stars. And I think that is it. Hey, everybody, thank you so much again for being with me this Friday evening. Get ready, be prayed up. And I'm going to tell y'all, don't have fear. Don't have fear. Because if one day we all have to leave this. See this right here, this flesh, this where that fear is coming from. Don't have the fear. Don't have the fear. Let it all go. Give it all to God. Give all that you have to God. Don't fear what they can do in this world. This world is stupid. This world is evil. The evil one is controlling so many of these people. Do not give them what they want. They want you to be fearful. Get prayed up. Get ready. God bless. And that is a reality check.